Few places on Earth remain as unexplored as the deep caves hidden beneath our feet, and none are as deadly or as unforgiving as Veryovkina, a place where the rules of the surface world no longer apply, where every step downward brings you closer to the Earth's hidden heart. At 7,257 feet deep, it's the deepest known cave in the world. A vertical labyrinth so vast, it takes 4 days just to reach the bottom. This is the story of the brave souls who dare to explore it. But for those who dare enter, the real danger isn't just the depth. It's what happens when the cave decides it doesn't want you to leave. This is the story of the explorers who survived its wrath, and the ones who didn't. In 1968, a team of Soviet cavers stumbled upon a small, unassuming hole in the mountains of Abkhazia. They ventured inside, descending just 377 feet before turning back. At the time, they had no idea they'd found the entrance to what would later be declared the deepest cave on Earth. Then, in 1983, a second-team speleologists from Moscow's Perovo Speleo Club rediscovered Veryovkina. Veryovkina Cave, or Veryovkin's Cave, was named after Russian speleologist Alexander Veryovkin, who tragically died during a cave expedition in 1983. But it would take decades after his passing for explorers to uncover just how deep this cave truly goes. Over the next 3 years, they pushed deeper, mapping passages down to 1,400 feet, but then nothing. Expeditions stopped. The cave was abandoned for over a decade. No one knows why. Some say funding dried up. Others whisper that the cavers saw something down there, something that made them leave in a hurry. But like many great mysteries of the Earth, its secrets were buried in darkness, waiting to be revealed. In 2000, the Perovo team returned. This time, they were determined to conquer Veryovkina once and for all. Year after year, they inched deeper, uncovering new shafts, squeezing through cracks no human had ever touched. Then, in 2015, they hit the jackpot, a massive vertical shaft that plunged into the unknown. By 2017, they shattered records, reaching an unprecedented depth of 7,200 feet. But the ultimate discovery came in March 2018, when they finally touched the cave's deepest point, a silent black lake, untouched by sunlight for millions of years. This was it, the bottom of the world. Veryovkina Cave had officially become the deepest known cave in the world. In September 2018, the Perovo team returned, this time with 2 Western photographers, Robbie Schoen and Jeff Wade. Their goal: document the cave's uncharted depths and search for undiscovered species in its pitch-black waters. But Veryovkina isn't just a cave. It's a living, breathing entity, and it doesn't like visitors. Descending into Veryovkina isn't like hiking a trail or climbing a mountain. It's the reverse of Everest. You're not going up, you're going in, and every step takes you further away from help, from warmth, from the world you know. It's more than just a physical challenge. It's a mental battle against claustrophobia, fatigue, isolation, and the primal fear of being trapped underground. And then there's the risk of falling rocks. In a cave this deep, even a pebble can be fatal if it drops from hundreds of meters above. Pavel Demidov had led expeditions into Veryovkina more times than he could count. But this one was different. This time, they weren't just mapping the cave, they were hunting for secrets buried in its deepest chambers. unknown species, lost passages, and at the very bottom, a lake untouched by sunlight for millennia. For photographers Robbie and Jeff, it was a once-in-a-lifetime chance to document what no human had ever seen. But Veryovkina doesn't give up its secrets easily, and soon they'd learn just how violently it defends them. Most caves are horizontal labyrinths. Veryovkina is a sheer, screaming drop into the underworld. To survive it, the team had built a network of 6 camps along its 7,000-foot descent, like rungs on a ladder straight into hell. Camp 1, 2,000 feet down, a pit stop for supplies. Camp 4, 5,600 feet, the point of no return, where the air grows thick and headlamps are the only light left in the universe. And finally, Camp 6, perched at 6,900 feet, just 300 feet above the bottom. They're home for the next week. After days of claustrophobic tunnels, the lake hit them like a mirage. 50 feet of crystalline water, so pure it drank the light. In any other place, it would have been beautiful. Here, in the belly of Veryovkina, it felt unnatural. As Robbie filmed, the Russian team collected samples. Tiny, translucent creatures, blind, colorless, evolved in total darkness. Proof life could thrive even here. But while they worked, the cave was stirring. Above ground, the storm had been building for days. Now, the mountain was saturated, and Veryovkina was thirsty. The first warning wasn't sound, it was vibration, a shudder through the rock, as if the cave itself had taken a breath. Then the roar, a wall of water screaming through the tunnels. The Russians moved fast. Robbie, he froze. Later he said, "It sounded like a freight train coming straight for us." 10 seconds to decide, all their footage or their lives. Robbie grabbed the cards and ran. Behind him, the water was already rising. The ascent was a nightmare. Water hammered them like bullets. One slip, and they'd be washed into the abyss. And worse, the Russians weren't behind them. While Robbie climbed, the Perovo team fought through a drowning cave. The bridge out, gone. The only path now was through the flood, swimming blind through currents that could crush a man against the rocks. Yet, when they emerged at Camp 5, they were laughing. To them, this was just another day in Veryovkina's belly. Robbie? He'd never forget the sound of that water, or how close they'd come to being swallowed alive. They lost thousands in equipment, but the cave gave something back, proof that even in Earth's darkest corners, life persists. And a warning, venture too deep, and Veryovkina decides when you leave. 2 years later, in November 2020, the Perovo team returned and found something chilling at Veryovkina's entrance, a single rope left behind. In caving circles, this is a death sentence. It means someone went in and never came out. Following the rope, they found Sergei Kozaev's body at 3,600 feet halfway to the bottom. He had no team, no backup, just a dream of conquering the cave alone. His gear suggested he'd survived for days, maybe weeks, before the cave claimed him. But how and why? Sergei had made fatal errors. He brought hand ascenders but no foot loops, making climbing nearly impossible. He carried 2 phones but no way to call for help. And worst of all, he told no one where he was going. By the time Perovo team reached him, his body was so badly decomposed that they had to cut him into pieces to bring him out. Veryovkina had claimed another soul. Even today, Veryovkina guards its secrets. Are there deeper passages, undiscovered life, or something else? Something that makes cavers hesitate before descending? Veryovkina isn't just a cave, it's a beast. And like any beast, it tolerates visitors until it doesn't. For those who dare enter, remember, the cave doesn't care about your records, your bravery, or your dreams. It only cares about one thing: survival. And somewhere below, the water is still coming and going from somewhere to somewhere.